Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, Haskins. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Ready? 55. Squeeze, double. Watch tight ends work.
Haskins on 3rd down. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. Touchdown, Vikings! Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go. 60 or. Secret.
On 1st down, trailer, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 22-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
2nd and 12 at the 14-yard line.
Here we go. 18 Gator, 18 Gator. Watch the out.
On 2nd and 12, Haskins going top shot. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here we go, set, 10 logo.
54. Watch the curl, watch the curl.
Hit it.
They'll try the left side. Trailer. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
5.
52. Watch 52. 52's the mic. It's out time. It's out time, guys. It's out time.
5.
From the gun, Freeman. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Lions. 43 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Ready,
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Freeman. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Trailer. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, and said, okay, let's not let
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Bravo.
Back to throw. Freeman. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Haskins going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. And that is incomplete.
The 3rd down pass intended for Dawson.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. So we got man.
Yo, go.
To throw on 3rd down. Freeman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them. This
is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On second down, Haskins. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Brings up third down and 11.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
In your face.
On third down, Haskins. He may try and run for this. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run on first down. Trailer. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Jason Sanders on for the field goal.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. That's thrown to Smith-Schuster out wide. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. But he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Lions take over.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. Back to the air on 2nd down. Freeman. And he comes back with one complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Who that? Who that? 53's the Mike. 53. Check 53.
Hey, Haywood. We drift.
Operating from the gun. Freeman. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this belongs to the Vikings. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They go play action now. Haskins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll keep it on the ground. Trailer. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
53 is the mic. That's what I do. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Hey, team 6. 22 jet bombers.
Check.
Let's go.
From the gun, Freeman. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Looking to throw. Freeman. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Hey, Alpha.
To throw on third down. Freeman. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. It's caught at the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Lions' 42-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Second down, Haskins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Portis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, it's Haskins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Haskins to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 23 yards the pickup there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a carry for Portis. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
All day, dog. Kill, kill, kill.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Share, share, share. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Go, go, go. It's 4th down.
And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
No gain on the play. 2nd and
Down. 30 base.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
We go. 50, plant.
I got it.
Hey, Delta.
52's the mic, boy. 52. I can't believe they let you play.
Get it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Freeman, he'll rifle this one deep right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Mike 52. Mike 52. Get that quarterback at all costs.
Now.
On 3rd down, Freeman. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Check 52's the mic.
On 4th down, Freeman. And this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Ready. 70 ending.
first down. Haskins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the...
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
The kicker on for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
First down.
Throwing on first down. Freeman. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. On 3rd down, trailer. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll run on 1st down. Haskins. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now it's Haskins going up top. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 19th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it 6 points. So nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Five.
Y'all playing the wrong football. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On fourth down, Freeman. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Next to score, Vikings 48, Lions 10.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Pick me up. Here we go.
On first down, Freeman. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Ready.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Back to throw. Freeman. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. On 1st and 10, Freeman. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 2nd and 15. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Freeman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015...
And that's caught inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will hit the road next